5 repairs you could make on your appliances to save tons of dollars and you don't have to call a service repair guy. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to discuss is your dryer. Let's say your dryer is not eating correctly. The first thing you need to do is to check the vents. Make sure that the dryer vent is clean. And the main major dryer vent that leads from the dryer to outside, you want to make sure you're cleaning that every 6 months. But sometimes if those things are done and the dryer is still not heating up, it could be the thermostat in the dryer. So you need to get a brand new thermostat, which is probably going to cost $20 to $30 based upon the model of the dryer. And then you just follow your manual, because the appliance manual normally have the way of changing the dryer. And it's an easy fix, guys. It's not too complicated to change the dryer in the thermostat in the dryer. Or look up a YouTube video of the name and model of the dryer you have as to how to change the thermostat. If you call a service guy to change, it's going to cost you about $180. So $20, $180, you're saving $160. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is your dishwasher. The drain lines on the dishwasher sometimes get clogged. One thing I've learned from a dishwasher repair guy is if you take a cup of vinegar and sit in the top tray of your dishwasher and run it through a cycle, that will clear a lot of grease and debris from out of the dishwasher. If that doesn't work, you could use a shop vac to clear the drain line on your dishwasher, and there goes the problem. It's fixed right there. You also want to make sure that on all your appliances that you're deep cleaning them. And most of them, like your dishwasher, your dryer, your washing machine, your refrigerator, there are also ways of deep cleaning them ever so often, so these things don't build up. You don't get a build up on any of them, and it stays clear. Okay. The next thing we're going to touch on is, which one is the next one? Is the freezer. All right. Sometimes the fan in the freezer gets clogged up, right? So there's a fan that goes on in the freezer to cool the freezer, to cause the freezer to freeze. When that gets clogged up, the fan stops. If you call a service repair guy, they're going to make it seem like a big deal and cost a lot of money to do it. You could purchase a fan for your appliance type. Say, look in your manual, or you YouTube it, or you Google it, the make and the model of the freezer that you have, find out what fan model it is, purchase it. And normally the fan is you need a screwdriver to make sure you unplug the fridge first. You normally need a screwdriver to unscrew the compartment that has the fan, replace the fan, and boom, that's it. If you call a service repair guy and it's a fan situation, it's going to be $200 to $300 to replace it based upon the model of the freezer. So you can save that money. The next one is the coils. So let's say the fridge is not cooling. If the fridge is not cooling, it could be a coil problem. The coils are located behind the fridge, in the back of the fridge, or under the fridge. So if you unplug the refrigerator and you use a vacuum cleaner or a cloth or a broom or something, or a brush, sorry, not a broom, a brush, to clear all those coils, that will cause the fridge to cool better. But that's also a maintenance issue. And if you have a home warranty insurance and you call them and it's a maintenance issue, they're not going to repair or replace the item. So cleaning the refrigerator coil is something you probably want to do every 3 to 6 months based upon how dusty your home is and how much it's lived in. But the coils on the back or below the refrigerator is something you want to keep cleaning, because that will help the refrigerator clean better, to cool better, and it won't draw much power, right? So if there's a buildup and it keep building up, the refrigerator is going to be working harder and harder to keep your stuff in the refrigerator cool, or to keep itself cool. So if you're consistently cleaning the coil, that would prevent that from happening. So that's something you definitely want to do.
Need to buy or sell fast? Make one call, that's all. And put our 23 years of experience to work for you. Gift Group Sells Homes is the way to go. Call for 07-791-4713.
The other one is unclogging the burner on your gas stove. So sometimes the burner on the gas stove gets clogged in and the burner isn't working correctly. Before you do this, check the connection from the gas line on the wall to the stove and also the electric power that gets into it. Make sure those are correctly fitted. If that's the case, then it could be that the burners are kind of clogged. So to unclog it, you want to unplug the refrigerator, disconnect the gas line, and use a brush to clean the burners, okay? And that will clear that for you. So some of these things are maintenance. Also, on front loaders washing machine, so the front loader washing machine, they sometimes tend to get a smell. So the way to prevent that smell is to keep the washing machine open, the door open after each wash. I keep it open for a while, let it dry itself out. The next thing that they're famous for, these front loaders, sometimes they get a mold buildup on the rubber liner, the rubber lining around the opening of the washing machine. So to clean this, or to prevent it from happening, don't close the door when you just finish a cycle. It's best to keep the door open and have it dry out. But if you don't do that, or you can't do it, or the door is not, it's in a position where you can't really keep the door open, Amazon sells a top loader mold remover, right? So it's called front loader washing machine, not a top loader, front loader washing machine mold remover. You run that, you spray that on the machine, you let it sit for like an hour or so, and then you run a cycle, and that will clear up all the mold. This normally happens on the rubber around the front of the washing machine. Okay, so these are difficult maintenance issues. Some of the things that you may want to call a professional for is if your freezer isn't freezing at all and the compressor is gone. If the compressor is gone, I suggest get a brand new fridge actually, but that would be a home warranty item that they'll cover, and that's something you don't want to touch. Next thing you do not want to touch is anything that has to do with the microwave. Anything that has to do with the microwave, you want to call a professional for. But there are some appliances that you could actually maintain, like as we mentioned before, the dishwasher, the coils on the refrigerator, the front loader. Why do I keep saying top loader? The front loading washing machine, and also your dryer, your dryer. Because the dryer, most of the time when the dryer is not going to heat correctly, it's always going to be some kind of vent issue. Could be it's not drying correctly because the vents, or it could be the thermostat, but those things are easily fixed as well, right? So these are some things you could do. When it comes to a refrigerator compressor, you got to call the experts. When it comes to a motor in any appliance, you want to call the experts. You don't want to change a motor yourself. When it comes to professionally cleaning your dryer vent that goes all the way in the attic, you could do it, but you could also call a professional. When it comes to your microwave though, you don't want to touch microwave. Most appliance repair companies don't even do microwave, they just replace them. Like they'll replace the door, you could replace the door of the microwave, or the dish, if the dish break in the microwave, you could replace that. But any kind of technical electricity stuff that has to do with the microwave, you probably want to call an expert on. So go ahead and share with me any other appliance tip that you might do or think of or know of that would be beneficial to maintain your appliances. Because of one thing that I know the home warranty company will do, if you have home warranty on your appliances and you call them, the first thing they're going to check is it a maintenance issue? Was the unit being maintained? And if it was not being maintained, they're going to write up and say this is a maintenance issue. So you want to make sure you're doing your part, so when you call them, they actually cover what you're calling them for. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video.
Need to buy or sell fast? Make one call, that's all. And put our 23 years of experience to work for you. Gift Group Sells Homes is the way to go. Call for 07 791 4713.